Welcome back. Now, Nigeria is in a very difficult situation right now in terms of security. The increasing rate of violence in several parts of the country has raised serious concerns about the proliferation of small arms and light weapons. A former head of state and chairman of the National Peace Committee, Abdulsalami Abubakar, has revealed that about 6 million illegal arms are in circulation across the country, and this explains why security has been on the rise in the country, at least partly. Now, take a listen to Abdulsalami as he makes this shocking revelation.
The proliferation of caliber of weapons, not only in our sub-region in general, and in Nigeria in particular, is worrying. It is estimated that over 6 million of such weapons are in circulation in our country. This certainly exacerbated the insecurity and led to over 80,000 deaths. And also, we have close to 3 million internally displaced persons, IDPs. Our security forces are not only overstretched, but understretched, underfunded, and can do with more sophisticated weapons, equipment, and more funding.
Now, clearly, the situation has now shifted from the proliferation of small arms to more dangerous and sophisticated weapons. And in this case, it will be difficult to dispute the National Peace Committee's report, considering the sustained attacks on security formations and activities of different criminals across the country. And some of these attacks, quite daring to say the least. Well, joining me on the program right now to expatiate more on this is Ilyasu Gadu, who is a security and public affairs analyst. He joins us from Abuja. Thank you very much, Mr. Gadu, for joining us on the program. 6 million arms in circulation. And this is coming from not just the former president of this country, but also a former military general. How worrying is that?
Well, like most Nigerians, I've seen the numbers: 80,000 people killed, 6 million arms in circulation. Now, if that does not scare the wit out of you, nothing else will. Because, to be candid, what in effect means is that we are importing arms into this country to kill ourselves. We are not importing those arms to fight a war with another country or another institution out of this country. We are importing these arms to kill ourselves. And this is what is scary. And you want to ask yourself, what are the security agencies, the security institutions, law enforcement institutions doing that this much number of arms is being imported into this country, is in circulation in this country, apparently to kill and maim Nigerians. So, and that it is coming from a former head of state and a military general, a military commander. This is even more scary. I really don't know the sense of outrage that can really express this.
Would you tie this to the reason why we're having so many too many, I would say, sort of seemingly intractable security challenge in the country? I mean, you have attacks here and there. Could we say this is exactly the reason why we have this mounting security challenge in the country at the moment?
Definitely, because anybody with arms in their hands, and they are not, authorized to, carry those arms, definitely they are out to, they will use it one way or the other, either to rob or to, pursue some causes that are against, peace and order. So definitely it has a direct link with the insecurity, because the next moment when you have a grievance or when you have an issue with somebody or with some groups or with the state, the next thing you think about is, since you have arms and sophisticated arms at that, you think that the next thing that comes to your mind is how to use those arms to advance those causes. And that is what we are seeing today. The ease with which non-state actors, if I may use the term, non-state actors get arms and use these arms against whatever and whoever they want to use it against. It's scary, as I said again. I can't stop using that word scary because that is what really it is.
And one other worrying thing the former president said, or the former military head of state now, Abdul Salami said, is that, look, it used to be small arms and light weapons. But he said, look, different caliber of weapons, even, you know, arms that are more than that you could classify as military grade, high caliber weapons, not just small and light weapons now that are coming in.
Yes, in fact, I did see. I did see that one of the arms that in circulation is what they call the RPG, the rocket-propelled grenade. Now that you know grade of ammunition or arms is an escalation of the normal, you know, arms, you know, that are in circulation. We used to hear about AK-47s, you know, and you know, pump action rifles. Even at that, those are not even they are scary enough. But to have rocket-propelled grenades. Now, if you know the caliber and the damage that a rocket-propelled grenade will do, then you begin to ask yourself questions: what really is the issue here? Why do we have to have people arming themselves with rocket-propelled grenades? Rocket-propelled grenades actually can disable a tank, a military tank, or an armored vehicle, or an armored car, or armored, jeep. So it means then that the people who have these arms in their possessions are actually thinking ahead, thinking higher than the normal, you know, run-of-the-mill kind of crimes that we know. So it is something that we need to interrogate the forces, the institutions of state that are supposed to deter these arms from coming into Nigeria, into the country. Now, the other day, there was a statement by the chief executive of customs, Hamid Ali, and he was talking about arms that he knows and his agency knows that are coming into this country through the borders, through the porous borders. And, you know, if the customs chief executive would make that statement, and of course, that shows that there's negligence of duty. There's negligence in trying to police this sort of arms from coming to this country. The two agencies that are supposed to, you know, make sure that this sort of arms don't come into this country, that's the customs and the immigration, seem to be sleeping on their duty, because right now it has become an existential problem for this country. And the more we have these arms, and people in security services are even scared that we're going to have more and more arms pouring into this country. And we're going to have a situation where the next person around you...
Sorry to interject. Now, the truth is, as these arms are in, if we're to go by what General Abdul Salami said, the arms are in, 6 million. The challenge now is that how do we go about getting those arms now, taking these arms off the state actors? It's definitely going to be challenging. How do we recover these arms, you know, get them off these people who are causing problems in this country?
Well, in the first place, they shouldn't have come in. But now that they have come in and that we are aware, I don't know whether the security arms of government, the National Security Advisor, the SSS, and other security agents, police, are aware of this, or they have been appraised of this report by the general and his team. Now, if they are aware of it, they have the mechanisms. Through their own, you know, resources, they can identify where these arms are and who and which groups have this. It's their duty to have it, because, you know, they cannot fold their arms and allow these arms to be in circulation, because as long as these arms are in circulation, we are going to be having some of the security challenges we have. But unfortunately, in the past few months, we've seen the state actors who are supposed to actually rein in this arms circulation doing virtually nothing. I mean, you have a situation in the southeast, for instance, where, you know, the police and agencies of law enforcement there are being routinely challenged and even, scared. I mean, thrown out of their offices and their offices burnt down. Now, if the police, which is supposed to be the first line in the security, internal security arrangement of this country, is handicapped and incapacitated to see off these non-state actors, then you begin to ask yourself, what are we doing here? What there needs to be, a lot of, soul searching, and this has to be from the top to the bottom. Mr. President, right down to the governor, to the agencies of security, have to sit down and not begin to look at this from a lackadaisical point, because it is getting to a point whereby you can imagine a country with 6 million arms in circulation. That is a medium-sized country. In a medium-sized country, you have 6 million arms in circulation. That is dangerous, especially for a country that has so much dysfunction, so much fault lines like Nigeria. It is scary. And the report of Abdul Salam and his team needs to be looked into, and they need to do something about making sure that these arms, the people wherever they are, the state actors, identify where these arms are and remove them from circulation as much as possible, reduce them from circulation so that they can now begin to tackle whatever, the ones that are available. But if we allow these arms to go, then it's sort of, the odds will go to the non-state actors, because with firepower in their hands that the police don't have, the situation is not even. So in that situation, we need to be able to. There needs to be a wake-up call from the president to the governors to the security institutions to make sure that this scary situation, this worrying situation, is not allowed to continue, because it looks like it's going to continue, and by the time we get to maybe 2023, we're going to have much more than that number of arms in circulation, and the implication for that, for this country and for the future.
Just before I let you go, how much of this arms coming in now would you tie to the crisis in Libya?
Well, there's been quite a number of reports that with the fall of Gaddafi in Libya and the collapse of order in Libya, a lot of groups have found themselves in possession of arms that were stockpiled by the former government during the time of Gaddafi, and these arms have become tools in the hands of insurgent groups and non-state actors to destabilize not just Nigeria but the West African region. That has been reported. But again, we have to make sure that we are proactive. When something like this happens, we make sure that we secure our borders, we secure our ability to make sure that we are not infiltrated, because we already have problems before even the fall of Gaddafi with Boko Haram and other insurgent groups. Now with these ones that are coming in, pouring in arms into Nigeria, it makes the situation more and more dangerous, and that is why we need to be very, very proactive. It's really, really disappointing that having discerned that this is what's happening in Libya, we did not take immediate proactive actions to ensure that what happens in Libya does not drastically affect the situation in Nigeria. But unfortunately, we are seeing it happen now. And then 6 million arms, 80,000 people, that is scary, that is worrying, and it must get our government at the federal, state, and local level to be able to do something about this proactively. Otherwise, we are going to wake up and find that the next man you see around you has a gun, and much worse, he may have something that is even bigger than a gun, like the RPGs, for instance. They can cause a hell of a lot of damage, and that is what we don't want to have in this country.
It's a very worrying development, no doubt at all, and unfortunately, it's not just Nigeria that is suffering it. The whole of West Africa appears to be suffering from the same problem, especially the Sahelian countries now. But thank you very much, Ilyas Ugadu, for joining us on the program. Ilyas Ugadu joined us from Abuja. He's a security and public affairs analyst. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, too. I'm glad you had me.
I will take a short break and we'll be right back.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On DEJI360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
DEJI360, dissecting the issues.